Ooh.
Resource music. He like me cause I'm so killing shit, baby. And he like me cause I'm so on a stick, baby. He on me, that's what he supposed to do. Soon as I pull up, bitches get real uncomfortable. Ay. Cause I'm a real shot at. You wanna chill with me, but it's gonna cost them. Cause I'm a big problem. I ask him, do you got the funds? Give us over. Hey, I make him work for it. He blowing on my phone, I make him work for it. Hey, cause I'm a big problem. He know he can't stand me, but he know that I'm the one. He say I'm no good. He say I'm so good. Let me show you I'm a real bitch. I got you stressing, but you know I'm not worth it. Cause I'm a big problem. I'm a big problem. I'm a big problem. Cause I'm a big problem. And he know he can't stand me, but he know that I'm the one. I can never trip over a whole nigga. How you think you play me, but my pocket's
Okay.
bigger.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Pretty Problem Podcast. I am your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Princess Tia, and this is my debate style podcast where we discuss controversial topics in the debate style format. Today's topic is toxic mothers equal toxic men. This topic was actually something that I discussed with my brother, the Blue Professor, not too long ago, and we decided to expound on what that really means. Today's show gonna be kind of short because I have a bunch of responsibilities today. So it'll be about 45 minutes versus the hour that it normally is. But I will also be hosting a mentorship class today. So if you are someone new to the Tagged app and you are looking to make it work for you, you want to learn how to be a top streamer or what it means to handle the app correctly, make sure you hit me up for mentorship information, including how much the class is going to be, as well as what we will be teaching. To yeah. So if you are new here, it's your first time popping in. Welcome to Pretty Problem Podcast. It is not called Pretty Problem Podcast because I'm vain. It is because I have a pretty problematic mindset on how I think about things. With that in mind, this is a debate show, which means that every opinion expressed in this space is up for debate. If you are someone who cannot handle feedback, please do not provide your opinion in this space, as once again, every opinion expressed in this space is up for debate. We also just want to say to everyone, if you have something you'd like to say and you don't want a rebuttal or you don't want someone to rebuttal you, please let me know your opinions in the after show. That is the only time that we will not be debating, and it's just everybody expressing their opinions on the show and or the topic. I also want to thank so much everybody that contributes to the show every week. We appreciate you guys so much. We could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us, and we always want to make sure you feel appreciated. Uh, but yeah, today's topic is toxic mothers equal toxic sons. This topic is something that I think hits home for a lot of us because we all know someone who has an enabler mom. And those enabler moms are the moms that are like, that's still my son. You know, like when they do something terribly, horribly wrong and you're wanting them to hold them accountable, it's a, well, that's still my son. Or those moms that want their sons to act and talk and dress like the men that they could never have. Those smother mothers, the ones that always that feel like their son is their boyfriend. We're going to talk about all of those different types of toxic relationships and how they affect men and their thought process, and how they handle relationships because of the thought process given by those toxic parents. Now, can y'all hear me? Because I was supposed to use my AirPod today, and I did not grab them. So y'all, am I good on the sound? Okay, cool. All right. So today's topic is toxic mothers equal toxic son. I'm sorry, toxic men. Now, have any of you ever dated someone whose mom or been around someone whose mom is who mom got their back no matter what, even when they wrong? Are you that kind of parent? Are you the type of parent that even when your child is wrong, you still got their back because that's your child? what does that teach them about accountability? You think people whose parents were always with them, right, wrong, or indifferent, have a better understanding or a lesser understanding? Hate those type of moms. Yep, dealt with that before. Do you think those people have a lesser understanding of what it means to be accountable and how their actions affect other people? The reason that I asked,
I mean, yeah, definitely. For me, it was this guy that I was dating. He was a Aries. I don't know why I had to say he was an Aries, but whatever. Um, yeah, his mom just kind of like agree with everything that he was doing. And the thing is about it is that she would lie. She was go as far as like lie for him.
mm,
Hot boy, or he would, and woman or whatever. He playing like three, four women at a time. She pretending that you the only one. So like
mm,
and those, when you feel like, oh my God, he want me to meet his mom. Some moms be pretending that, oh my God, sweetheart, it's so nice to meet you. He been talking so much about you. And then she do that on repeat with the other ones, like she in cahoots with her son. And
mm.
they really be doing like they really be doing that for real.
They do.
Yo, what's up, boo? How you doing?
Hey, Adrian, did you have something to say about the topic?
No, not really. No.
Okay, so right now during this particular time frame, it's only about the topic. I probably should expound on that. If you're just now popping in, welcome to Pretty Problem Podcast. I am your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Princess Tia, and this is my debate style podcast where we discuss thought-provoking topics in a debate style format. The date box is only for people expressing their opinion on the topic. It is not for actual dating. This is not the time to shoot your shot at me. This is specifically only for people to express their opinion on the topic or any of the opinions expressed in the topic. Um, and today's topic is toxic mothers equal toxic men. Again, if you are not contributing to the topic at hand, please do not request my date box. Otherwise, my lovely people in dressed in red will escort you to another live. Thank you guys so much. It's okay. If you weren't here for the intro, now you know. So yeah, we're talking about toxic moms creating toxic men. And one of the things that Chakra brought up that I think is something that we probably, if there are any women in here, we have all experienced that mom, that ride or die mom. The one that's like, oh, my son only love you. He only got feelings for you, and the only you is 17 other women. It's you and all of her other stepdaughters, daughter-in-laws, and you don't even feel special anymore once you find out she got 17 million daughter-in-laws because, like, damn, I keep picking at my face because it look like I got dimples, but I don't have any dimples. See, it look like it right there. I got a dimple. And yeah, who doesn't? And then it's also the moms. I'm gonna go as far as saying even the moms that lie for sons. Like, they know their son spent the night at another woman's house, and instead of saying that he wasn't at their house, they son instead of saying their son was out, they'd say like, "Oh no, he was home all night," and they'd be lying. Or I prefer when it comes down to it, I think that it's a matter that if you're gonna raise a man that has respect for women, and how he maneuvers in the world, you have to start off by having respect for women automatically. What's up, Lucky? You have something to say about the topic? Okay, thank you, love. So once again, if you have nothing to contribute about the topic at hand, please do not request my data. Thank you very much.
Getting ridiculous. So hey everybody.
Hey, sister.
So I was just gonna talk about my experience, and this is with my ex, who was also my baby daddy. And I very much agree with you. Well, I don't know if you actually said this, but you said it. Um, these toxic mothers, it's not making for very healthy sons. It's not making for very healthy mentals. I want to say my ex's mother was higher on the scale of toxicity. She was more on delusional.
Mm,
Um, because he was the broke one in the relationship, but it was always I'm a gold digger. You know, he was the broke one in a relationship, and I bought a house, and it was like, well, son, is your name on the deed? Excuse me, who are you talking to? Because
why would his name be on the deeds of my house?
Exactly. Delusional.
I'm crying.
I
So
made sure I said it for 2 minutes.
so I kind of gotta like look at this in two different things. Cause yeah, when it's happening to us, it's like, you dirty ass. Like, why would you sit here and like be lying about, this for your son? But then I also think about it, like, I don't have a son yet, but I would lie for my son.
I wouldn't.
I'm sorry. Like, it sucks to say that, knowing, you know what I'm saying? I would lie for my son.
That's terrible. That's
Don't
what we're
judge
talking
me.
about
I'm
here.
just saying,
What does
I
that
was
teacher?
like,
What does that teach your son about
not as far,
accountability or responsibility?
not as far as, okay, you just trying to reel me into your cheating ways, not like that. But if my son called me and he like, Ma, wasn't I did it, and it's like a serious
No, you
situation,
was not.
I might gotta like, yeah, you what, like, I don't know. Like, when you think of it as a parent, you want to make sure your son or your daughter is good. Like, so you ever seen the reels when I'm outside and hurt your back, and then the parents be outside for real acting like they fell, or in the house like
Okay.
laid up like, oh, I can't get up. I probably would have did that.
Okay, but the problem that arises with that is what morals and values does that teach your child? It's okay to lie as long as I benefit from it.
No, but I want to make sure my child is safe. Like, if they
But
get
making
into
sure
some
they're
shit,
safe is
I'm
also
gonna make
making sure
sure
they
that they know.
understand
I'm gonna make sure that they
accountability.
know it's serious. Like, you cannot do, like, yeah, they're gonna get a lesson out of it, but I'm probably gonna bail them out. I'm sorry. Like, chill might not be the same, but that's why I ain't a mama yet. Like,
Okay. So my views on this. As Shaka was talking, I was kind of cluing into what she was saying. Okay. So if it's something that I have absolutely taught my son, it's a value I've taught my son, something like that, like, don't cheat on your girl. If you don't want her no more, leave her. If I don't completely instill this into you, and you want me to go ahead and participate in that lie, tell her you was over here with me and you really was over there with Keisha, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But as far as the police go, I'm also not gonna be their star witness. You get what I'm saying?
Right, yeah,
That's
no.
still my baby. That's still my baby.
But even with that, like, if not necessarily be they star witness, but are you going to encourage them not to tell the truth? Like, if you're raising a person that's supposed to have integrity and do the right thing, like, integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody's looking. So if it's only circumstantial that you will do the right thing, then you don't have any integrity. So now you're trying to you're teaching your child not to have integrity or have situational integrity.
In a perfect world, but we all know that this world today, especially in the judicial system, is not made for any black or brown people. So
I'm gonna teach my child.
You could be in there telling. You could be up in there telling.
Don't tell nobody, not even me.
Right, and I'm gonna actually be in there teaching my child. Even if you sit up there and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, they can still put you up under that jail, baby. So
don't tell nobody nothing, not even me. Don't tell nobody nothing. You commit a crime, do it by yourself. Don't leave no witnesses, don't leave no evidence, and don't tell nobody. That's how you get away with a crime. If you go 100 years without telling anybody anything, you could make it through.
I was reading Professor.
Literally, please the fifth. I was agreeing. Like, yeah, if you don't tell nobody nothing, can't get caught up in nothing.
No, for real.
But the other thing is, toxic mothers also create a space where communication is a second place thing. Toxic mothers will definitely, because your mom is who you normally take your cues from. If your mom is not a person that is telling you that you have to do things the right way, or that you have to follow this, or that you have to, like, if they're not giving you those morals and values, you won't have them. So when it comes to having relationships between like two adults that are consenting and being a part of a situation.
How you doing?
Thank you. Sir, do you have something to say about the topic at hand?
Oh no, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. All right. If you just now popping in, welcome to Pretty Problem Podcast. I am your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Princess Tia, and this is my debate style podcast where we discuss thought-provoking topics in a debate style format. Please do not request a day box if you don't have anything to say about the topic at hand. Hey, Uncle, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Finish your intro. Finish your intro. I like the intro. Go ahead.
If you are someone who cannot handle feedback, please do not provide your opinion in this space, as every opinion expressed in this space is up for debate. If you just now popping in, today's topic is toxic mothers equal toxic men. What you got to say about the topic?
Toxic mothers produce toxic men.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? That can go both ways, because naturally, the woman, she's the nurturer. So therefore, Joe, you know what I'm saying? If he sees her act out in a certain way, of course he's gonna act out. But then again, too, though, a toxic man can just be toxic just because of his environment.
But do you think that having a toxic mother doesn't contribute to that level of toxicity? Like, do you think that there are men
to some level, because you know what I'm saying, Joe, like I say, you know what I'm saying, that's who you learn from. That's where I learned from. That's who I get my game from. It came from my mama.
Fact.
So therefore, if she putting certain shit out there in the universe, I'm gonna naturally pick up on it. You feel me? So
the other thing is, when we think about like getting somebody in line, right? What was the first thing we always say? I'm gonna tell your mama. Mm-hmm. If the mom is not someone who will realign that person when you bring something to her attention, isn't that contributing more to the toxicity of that person and not like less? Like when you think about like redirecting somebody, a toxic mother won't redirect their child. Oh, I did not date. Oh.
Halo baby.
All right, because I dated the wrong person. My bad. Thank you, brother. I'm on commercial. You okay? The fact that they not like us came on is hilarious. But it's like Judy said, who is the first person that you call out to when you're in trouble, when you need help, even when you're looking for guidance? If the mom has no guidance on her own, how could she possibly guide you to make the right decision in certain situations? And then are you even going to want to make the right decision in certain situations if you have a parent who supports you right, wrong, or indifferent?
No, though, Joe, man, I'm back in the year. But yeah, though, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, you know what I'm saying, man? That's like if a father is abusive to the mother, right? 9 times out of 10, that son gonna be abusive to his woman, right? So, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same energy. Same energy.
Absolutely.
Same energy.
And even with like, hold on, make sure I even with like your moral compass, like that voice you hear in the back of your head when you're gonna make a decision. Yeah. It's usually your mom or your grandma, the matriarch of your family is usually that voice that guides you in those times of uncertainty. So if you have a matriarch who is not trying to make you a better person or contribute to your personal success, you're not going to you're not going to know how to be a good person. Right. So you're going to be a toxic person because all you know is toxicity. You have a mom, and even if you're trying to like do something to spite her, like if your mom always used to talk crazy to your dad, so you vowed to never let a woman talk crazy to you. that's now created that toxic space because you want to be different. You want to experience something
You're
different than
gonna
what
be
your
on the
dad did.
defensive. You're gonna be on the defensive all the time. It's not gonna work.
Exactly.
It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Because you don't
No,
want to
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That just like, you know what I'm saying, Joe, like, you know what I'm saying? If you take a child, right, here in the city, right, we all know what goes on in the ghetto or whatever, right? So my thing is this, you know what I'm saying? If I take a orange and squeeze that motherfucker, I'm gonna expect orange juice, right?
Mm-hmm. Thotty, do you have something to say about the topic?
I don't even know what the topic is. What the topic is?
Okay, come back after you listen in a little bit. Hey, EP. Thank you, EP. If you just now popping in, welcome to Pretty Problem Podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Princess Tia, and today's topic is toxic mothers equal toxic men. We are talking about thought-provoking topics. So if the topic itself brings something to mind for you, please feel free to request a date box or reply in the comments how you feel about the topic, or what if you have a debate for something that was expressed in the show so far. Another thing I think that we don't talk about is toxic mothers also shape men's opinions on how women are supposed to look. Because if you have a mom who is self-degrading, meaning she doesn't love herself, you are not going to want a woman like your mom. You're going to want a woman the opposite of your mom. That's how we get those black men that don't want to be with black women. You know, that think black women are too loud or too opinionated, too blah blah blah. You like, but you got a black mama. Yeah, they doing it because their mama was a hoe. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that's really what it is. Like, a lot of the time we use that parental figure to determine like how the world works. People who grew up with parents who were not as active have a different opinion about things than people who grew up with parents who were active. And it's like a matter of when you become a parent, also the thought process. If you had a selfish parent, those people usually grow up to be selfish people because they don't know what it's like they don't know the experience of someone putting something above themselves. So to them, if you are not taking care of you first, you're stupid. What are you doing? Why are you looking out for other people when you should be looking out for numero uno? Like, have any of you guys ever seen that movie, The Heartbreakers? It was about a mother and a daughter, and they were con women. So basically, they would meet rich men or wealthy men and run some type of con on them. The con usually would be one of them would marry the rich man, and then the other one would work for him or meet him in some way and seduce him away from the other one so that they could divorce them and get the money and live off of the divorce money. And her mom had been teaching her the scam since she was a baby. That was all she knew, was that you don't fall in love. Men are something that you use to gain wealth and nothing more. And falling in love is for suckers. So when she eventually fell in love on her own, she was conflicted because all her entire thought process and learned behavior was what she was taught by her mom. What's up, my pretty problem bender? That's not your name today, is it? You're not a bender today.
No, but I needed to do something with it.
What you got to say?
What you laughing? What's funny?
I said, what you got to say? Because I called you pretty problem bender. That's why I'm laughing.
All right.
That was your name last week.
That was crazy. Everybody's had this toxic thing. I don't know. I'm one of the old school kids. You know, so with the mamas that you still had to look up to your mama, stuff like that. And she was an example of how, you know, you would see a woman and stuff like that. My mama ain't enable me. She ain't lie for me. She babied me because I was the baby. That was probably about it.
Okay, so do you feel like your adult dating journey was impacted by the fact that you didn't have a mama that would lie for you?
Uh, the impact, yes, but not a negative one.
Well, no, I didn't say it was negative. I'm just asking, like,
Oh,
if
okay.
it. So, like, do you think that you could have been a cheater if your mom would have lied for you?
Yeah, that could have been an outcome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would have thought more about it and like I got somebody lie for me, like yeah,
Did you have something to say about the topic, Willie?
What's the topic?
Toxic mothers equal toxic men.
Shit. Toxic mother equal toxic. Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's a single parent household, hell yeah.
So you don't think that women being toxic in two-parent households still affect the child?
Yeah. Because they need to see an example of something that's, normal and how it's supposed to be. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that.
So, sir, if you just now coming in, because it seems like you are, this is a debate style podcast. So we kind of go back and forth about topics. This topic in particular is the one we've been talking the last like almost 30 minutes. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to expound on or anything else you'd like to say?
I mean, it all starts from the parenting, like the child upbringing. It all starts from parents really want to planning out their future for their kids. If you don't got nothing mapped out for your kids, then they're gonna get influenced by the outside presence that's around them. So you gotta have some type of foundation at home, like build a journey for them. And in this day and age, I think parenting need to be they need to step it up a little bit more because of the outside influences. So that's my little point on it.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate that. And when you should have probably been here like 2 weeks ago when we was talking about the parents. Uh, Today we're just focusing on toxic mother, toxic men situation. So do you personally know anyone who has a mom that's always on their side, no matter what, even when they're wrong?
Hello.
Hello, do you have something to say about the topic?
How are you doing?
Man, it's hard to break when I'm with you. Yeah, no one do it on my own, but I want that room. Okay, but do you personally know someone whose mom is always riding with them, right, wrong, or indifferent? I don't want to be a toxic mom. I'm shaking my head. And that's the first step, right? To thinking about like when you think about your actions, and I think that's also what leads to toxic parental relationships as well. Not thinking about the reaction to your actions. Because even if we talk about like men that have adverse views on women or those men, it's like, yeah, my mama told me to watch out for these hoes out here. That mindset really will follow someone for their entire life if they allow it. If it's something that didn't harm them in some way for thinking it or being a part of it, what's to change their mind? So as you're parenting, you are creating this human being that other human beings have to interact with, and they are only armed with whatever opinion it is that you gave them. So now you have this person who has a skewed version of the world that is created by somebody else's envy, inconsistency, and narcissism. So now this person is a little mashup of all of those negative qualities of you going out in the world and interacting with other people, and they have to deal with them. I think that a lot of the way that we kind of have men handling women now comes from the women that were a part of their influence in the first place. Because there's no way you see a woman handling her business and doing the things she needs to do, and then you go out in the world and you talk about how women ain't shit.
You know what, though, Joe? You know what I'm saying? Had to do a little bit of the thinking. You know what? I'm gonna say, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Being in a two-parent household do change the whole dynamics of it. You really do. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Me and my baby mama, right? Live together 19 years. You understand? Together 19 years. Joe, you know what I'm saying? She was toxic to a sense that, I was doing goddamn shit that wasn't right by her. You get what I'm saying? I'm taking her car. I'm bringing bitches, whatever. You know what the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And by her sounding off in front of the kids, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It made them feel like she was the one that was bringing the smoke. But at the same time, though, I had to go in there and tell my son and them as they get older. You know what, Joe? You know what I'm saying? As I was, you know what I'm saying, do what I was doing, I wasn't thinking about y'all. Now that my kids have got older, they didn't want to go through the same shit that they saw me and their mom go through. And that's why I say, you know what I'm saying, it can go either direction. You dig what I'm saying? It really can.
And I agree with that. It can definitely shape them. But I think it's about like in two parent household situations, believe it or not, it is a matter of one parent deciding that they're gonna be okay with being the devil's advocate or with playing the bad guy so that one could be the good guy.
But it's in their face already. It's in their face already. You know what
And somebody has to be okay with being the bad guy so that somebody else could be the good guy, or being the good guy so somebody else could be the bad guy. And I'm saying that as I grew up in a two-parent household. My parents have always been married. My parents have been married for 35 years. My entire lifespan, I've never not seen them together. But
Right.
it was a matter of, in front of the children, I'm gonna be the bad guy since I'm always the bad guy anyway. In front of the kids, I'm gonna be the bad guy, and you can look like the hero,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna be the hero and you could be the bad guy. My dad was always, to my brother and sister, my dad was always the bad guy because he was the one saying no. Mom was like, "You want it? Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to get it." My dad is like, "No, we have bills, we have stuff. You want some stuff? You need to learn the power of responsibility and go get you a job, and you can earn the money to
Like
get you
this,
these
yeah.
extra things." And Mama like, "Well, no, I'm gonna get me another job. You don't want to buy for them? That's fine. I'm just get me another job. I'm gonna buy my kid one."
That ain't being toxic though. That ain't being toxic. That just
It's not it's not in the sense of like it's detrimental to someone, but it is, because one parent's idea was, I'm going to teach my children responsibility by them having to work hard for the things they want.
okay.
And the other one's idea was, I'm going to teach my children responsibility by them seeing me work hard for the things that they want. So
Okay.
they both were mindsets that could assist someone, but it could be detrimental. Like you said, it can go either way. And the thing is, it can be detrimental to someone not being completely honest about how things work.
And that's
Um,
why. And
it
that's
affected
why.
all of us differently for sure.
Yeah.
Me, I grew up with the mindset that there's nothing in the world you can't have as long as you go work for it. Because as
That's a
long as I
fact.
can get a job, I can get whatever. There's literally nothing that I can't have. If I want to go to Dubai, all I gotta do is pick up some more work hours, give me another job,
Go
and
to
stack
Dubai.
and save for 6 months, and I can go to
Go to
Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah. Fact.
And for my siblings, it was like a matter of, I'm gonna make sure can't nobody ever tell me no. That's how it affected them. Like they never want to be told no.
So my question is, would you say you have a closer relationship to your dad?
Yes.
Okay. So then that makes sense. You're putting a lot in perspective for me when it comes to like parenting. I'm not a mom yet, but I just think of the things that I would do or like I would be willing to do for my kids. And so when you explain it in that way, like, yeah, my mama said I'm gonna make sure she get it, whatever she need. That's my mentality. Like whatever my baby need, like I'm gonna make sure like they good, whatever the case may be. I could also see that as being not as positive because it's hard for me to say no to kids in general. I'm always like the cool auntie, like, all right, we're going to the store. Can I get this? okay, let me see. Like, I don't ever say like, no, you can't get that. Like, and that's probably something that I got to work on before I bring kids into the world, because I didn't think of, I was thinking of the times when my mom told me no to J's and having that in high school, and she want to give me two pair of felines, and they ain't popping like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking of the times in my childhood where I was told no, and how can I do this different for my kids to have all the experiences that they want out of life?
And that
So
was my parents too. My mom
yeah,
grew up the oldest of 10. So in her lifestyle, if there was something that she wanted, she had to go work for it.
yeah.
And she vowed that she would never make her kids do that. My dad grew up the youngest of 10. So he's
Mm.
like, well, one of the youngest of 10.
Well,
And
everybody
he's
in here
more
judged
like,
me.
huh?
Everybody in here judged me earlier because I said I was my son. I'm gonna sit through this episode and see if I change my mind, because I think I still lie a little bit. So I'm just trying to grasp what I can.
Okay, and then about me being closer to my dad. I'm
It's
closer to
good.
my dad because my mom worked as much as she did to be able to do those things. My dad was always there. My dad was literally always at home. My dad went to work and went and worked his regular 9 to 5. My dad is
Yeah,
is a surgeon.
but
My dad went and did his finished his surgery. Some nights he might have been off a little bit late because the surgery went over, but for the most part, he worked his regular shift and was home every night. Homework, dinner, all that. That was on my dad.
and that's what I'm saying, though, Joe. Let's get to the main root, Joe. First of all, being a parent does not come with a handbook. It don't come with no instruction manual. You just learn on the fly. You dig what I'm saying? And not saying like people don't know right from wrong, but I just say experience is the best teacher. So I have to drop certain jewels on you, but like it's up to you to utilize the things that I gave you in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
So
also
so
that also has to come with you doing something or instilling something into them in life. What we're
that's my
talking about
point.
are the people that are not. Like that's what made me spurn this topic in the first place. We're talking about the people that are becoming parents and they're not doing anything to improve the people that they're creating. They are facilitating their own mindsets into a smaller person and sending them out into the world.
Guess what, though, Joe? You know what I'm saying? It's all a process. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they not, you know what I'm saying, not fully you know what I'm saying, man, getting that feeling of being a parent. You know what I'm saying? That can be overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? You never know the way people might take shit. So I don't give, you know what I'm saying? I just don't say, well, no, Joe, you know what I'm saying? You both for doing that. They just gotta just go through it. You know what I mean? You
But
gotta
I think
learn.
if we start pointing out people's personality issues before they
I'm gonna,
procreate,
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm gonna put it to you like this, Princess. 'Cause I got 4 kids, right? I'm gonna put it to you like this. I knew how I was growing up, so I know what to prevent my kids from doing as they're growing and going through it. You feel what I'm saying? I know how their mother was, so I coach them and teach them, and I don't be like, "Oh no, don't do that," or "You can't do that," or try to stop them. They gonna learn. You feel me? Hard head, make a soft ass.
so the topic that we're talking about right now, Shaky, is toxic mothers equal toxic men, and we're kind
Oh,
of yeah. What I was delving into with Vino is kind of explaining how like yes, there are learning curves when it comes to parenting. I'm not saying that that's not something that's there, but the issue is we have these people who have deep seated personality issues who are procreating and then deciding that the issue wasn't them, it was the people around them. So I'm just going to instill into this other person to make them think like me.
and you know what? That's how I be. Because at first, that's how I was with my firstborn. Oh, my mama ain't do this with me, da 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 da. So I'm gonna do this because I feel like she should have went did this with me, and I fucked up. So once I learned that lesson, I switched it. You know what I'm saying? And now my daughter, she a straight A student, been a straight A student all her fucking life. She don't be out here like that. I spoil her rotten. She makes the right decisions. I let her make her decisions. Now her mama get mad at me and say, well, she's not, do you think she's too young for that? And I'm like, she's making better decisions than you made when you were older and she's younger. So what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? And some parents like to make.
And that is something that is so underrated. Hey, you'll never land, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Overcompensation is a no-no. I told my baby mom the same shit. Joe, all that overcompensating because you felt like you weren't doing this, you said you're not doing when that, Joe, you finna on the guys. And she definitely in that for, but yeah, though, Joe, like that's definitely a no-no. Overcompensating. They get spoiled, they lose focus, all that. Yeah, Miss Shaka energy, I feel it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't date you. I'm sorry.
No, man. No, yeah. You don't say Joe, man. You got to you start that thing.
I got you.
You gotta start that thing. Yeah, you gotta start that thing, you know. But yeah, though, Joe, you know what I'm saying, Joe? Like, just like an iffy little situation.
But it also kind of has something to do with the moms that they had. Like, I feel like one of the things is one of the generational curses that we kind of don't talk about is mindset. Like, we talk about finances and we talk about, you know, sexuality, all of those things that are like, oh yeah, you know, it's about the parents that you had. But toxic mindsets are a generational curse. The way people look at the world and how they handle things is directly related to the family that they grew up in. Because if you had a family that cared about morals and values, how you operate and govern yourself is different than somebody who had no background like that.
You got a choice. At the end of the day, you got a choice.
Yeah, but if you only have the choices that you know about. Like I said, if you never knew these things were out here, you can't make that as a choice. You can't. One of the things that I always use is the person that grew up in a house full of thieves. If your mom was a professional thief and she taught you, okay, my bad. Thank you for reminding me. If your mom was a professional thief and she taught you that stealing is the only way to make ends meet and that's the only way to do things, when you become an adult, that's where you're gonna think you're supposed to make your money.
But not everything, because I've seen some stories where people will be raised one way and they actually like want to be the opposite of their parents, or they don't like the way they were raised, so they like that they got that story that could be on Lifetime, like, oh, you know, my parents actually raised me like this, but I got it out the mud, and now they all successful and stuff because it actually motivated them to do things differently. So I don't feel like all the time your upbringing is going to reflect the way you raise your kids. It might teach you some good things on what to do differently. So because of your experience, then you know exactly how to handle your kids.
That is about exposure, though. If you, again, it's regardless of, I understand all of that. Those people were still taught something else and decided to go with the other thing that they were taught. But if you're not taught anything else, you're not going to know to pick something else.
But sometimes these people, you never heard those stories. These people ain't learned from their parents, or
they learned from somebody else. They were still exposed to it by someone else that they respected and had moral. Even when they had shitty parents, they had a great grandma. Or
there's a certain thing that's called self-made. Some people literally are self-made, that to where they go through trauma and they either sink or float, to where I like, okay, I went through this, but I'm definitely not going back. I'm definitely not going back to the hood. I'm going to a college and doing this and doing that because of their traumas.
Right, but that doesn't mean, just because they've made those type of decisions doesn't mean that they are positive decisions. I'm never going back to the hood, so I'm gonna sell drugs, so I'll make sure I never go back to the hood. I'm gonna go to college, so I'm gonna make sure I'm strip at the strip club to pay for my college classes. It's still something where if they don't know any better, if they weren't taught that in their household, they don't know any better, regardless.
My oldest child's mother, right? She continued to have more kids instead of just finishing school. Like I was paying for her to continue school, and instead of finishing school, you still out here fucking and getting pregnant. So I'm like, it's crazy. Now you want to go out and live your life because you like, oh, I've been raising kids all my life. Well, you didn't have to do that. You put yourself in that situation for one. Two, I try to put you through college so that you finish so you could provide and be a better provider for our child because I was already doing me. Three, now you got my child being a mother at the age of 11 and 12, raising kids, washing dishes, folding clothes, and doing all. I know you got to be self-sufficient and learn how to take care of yourself, but you should not be babysitting, watching kids, raising kids when you are a kid. That's not right. That's not fair. They have no room or life to live a life as a child. So now you don't have a childhood. So therefore, when they become an adult, they got these childhood traumas that they going through, and they gonna relay that shit, as you say, generational curses. They doing it over to their children. And I'm trying to get my daughter, nah, that ain't it. That ain't the way to go, baby. You see how I am with you. I don't make you watch your sister, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And her sister can have a great bond. But it's just crazy that her mom made her grow up so fast. And it kind of pissed me
And I
off
think
because it's like me and her got into our first altercation. Huh?
And I said, I think
Me and my daughter.
What I'm saying when I'm saying this is, I'm talking about people. Yes, there are one-off situations where people have made better decisions and done better things, but we are talking about people who are willfully toxic. We're not talking about the better versions of people. We know I'm not negating the fact that better versions of people exist. We are talking about the ones that are not better versions of people and how did they get that way? Because see, we could talk all day long about choices and blah blah blah, but exposure has 100% to do with how you are, what you decide to go with. If you are not exposed to certain things, you will not know that that is an option available for you. There are plenty of people who have grown up in the projects who don't know that they can live somewhere else, who really genuinely do not know that there's somewhere else out there that they could live outside of that housing project they've lived in their entire life.
And guess what? I was once one of those lost souls. You understand? I was once one of those. You know what I'm saying, Joe? We you know what I'm saying? We come up in the, you know what I'm saying? I came up in the system. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by like everybody got a choice. I could use my situation and use that as a crutch and just fuck everything. You dig what I'm saying? There was a time in my life where, yeah, you know what I'm saying, Joe? I was a little rebellious and I did my little whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to grow up. You got to know. And I felt like the only way that I can rewrite some of my wrongs was to try to instill certain qualities in my sons, man. And guess what, though, Joe? I feel like I did a great job. Because you know why? My oldest boy, he 27, and my youngest boy, he 22. And guess what? They ain't never been in no trouble. And guess what, though, Joe? It was toxic to the motherfucker in our household. It was toxic.
Speaking of toxic.
Definitely understand the toxic childhoods. Grew up in one. My stepdad was very abusive, you know. And with kids like that, they grow up in these environments and run around and do the same thing that they were taught because that's how they grew up. My mindset to that is, why not look at it a different way? Why not look at it as, okay, your stepdad was abusive. Well, he taught you a lesson, right? He taught you everything not to do. Okay, there is no way in hell I would treat my son, when God bless him, when I have one, the way I was treated as a kid. Okay.
But
like you said, you said as a crutch, I was
exposed to something different than what was going on inside your household.
No. Dude, I grew up with it.
You never watched TV. You didn't talk to people at school. You never saw nothing else other than what was going on.
Those friends were not good friends. I've ran with a rough crew my entire life. Okay, don't let the skin tone fool you. Okay, my missus right here will tell you, I was a mean son of a bitch back in the day. Was I not? Was I not a mean son of a bitch back in the day?
Who is that? What a black lady?
So we were in a poly. Lots happened since the last time we saw. We found out that my wife, I should say, or soon to be ex-wife, stole $3,600 from me. Not only that, but I walked in on her cheating on me. And
how you cheating in the
so,
poly? I thought y'all was open to
No. This happened before we were in the poly. And you know, she said she had a drunken outing with the friends, and it just happened. You know, I know shit.
I done had a bunch of shit happen in my life. That ain't on the list of shit that just happens in my life.
I see what you saying now, Princess, and I do see a lot of people like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's I said childhood traumas. People go through shit and they feel like they can I don't know how to really put it, but they go through shit as a kid and it doesn't, like as an adult when they have children, they be like, well, I don't want you to be like this, so I'm gonna do this. And you really be hindering the growth of your child. I don't know, it's just hard to put it, but I see a lot of people like that. That's traumatized, don't know no better. Even if you try to tell them better, they don't want to hear it because they just stuck in that stubborn mindset. They don't want change. Some people are afraid of change. They think growth is a bad thing. I just don't get it. But I mean, you're right. There's people out here that, man, be in the projects and never leave that bitch.
Literally, are never going anywhere. No matter
my
what.
baby
They're
mama
gonna be right there in that project.
49 years old, still on housing. Her oldest child, and she's been on housing since her first child. Her oldest child is 35. I'm 38. No. She's 34, and I'm 38. And she been on housing with that project mindset ever since. Like I said, she about to be 50 and still act like that. And I'm like, bro, you got to break that. That ain't your kids have no. I cannot word this shit right.
I get where you're going.
But yeah, like they don't. That's why I'm showing my daughter different.
I'm definitely gonna show mine differently because Lord, I don't want them brought up the way I was. Man, don't get me wrong, I did not make it easy on myself as a kid. Like, my parents did everything they could to make me see the light, but I wasn't wanting and willing to see the light. So I brought a lot of the situations that I had grew up in on myself. But as a man, I can sit here and say that. They always say hindsight's 20/20. Okay. But yes, so this was my soon-to-be wife's and I's girlfriend. Yes, this is the one I'm sticking with. Because last month, your boy was diagnosed with a tumor on my brain. I've had seizures since then. I was hospitalized for an entire month last month, pretty much. I had 2 weekends where I wasn't in the hospital last month. My wife did not stay by my side at all. She was off partying with other people, friends.
Not only that, she left me at the hospital at one point with you.
Yeah. And then she left her girlfriend instead of staying there. She left her girlfriend at the hospital with me. Yeah. So there's a lot that's I've been coming to see and coming to realize that's made me second guess a lot of decisions I've made. And not only that, but you want to keep playing about how you regret marrying me. Well, okay, I'll make the decision easy for you. I'll go ahead and file for divorce and you ain't got to pay for a fucking thing. All I need you to do is sign the fucking divorce papers.
Damn.
And I'm going to be with somebody that makes me happy. And, you know, that's going to be there fellas.
Let me wrap this show up and then we can talk about it. I got to do I have to teach a mentor class today. So thank you guys so much, everybody that has already contributed your opinions to the topic. I'm just going to do this little wrap up real fast.
Hey, we will be going live together tonight if y'all want to come through.
Okay. Let me wrap this recording up. I got you. Did my phone unhook? What the hell? All right, y'all. All right. Thank you so much. If you have already contributed to the stream, to the show, this is Pretty Problem Podcast. This is my debate style podcast where we discuss thought-provoking topics in a debate style format. Today's topic was toxic moms equal toxic men. I want to thank everybody so much who has expressed their opinion during the topic. We definitely appreciate everybody so much for contributing to what we had going on today. Also, I want to say that every Sunday we always talk about something different, and I appreciate everybody for being active and engaging in the conversation. I definitely see y'all, and I appreciate everybody so much for everything you do. As always, I'm going to read down the list of gifters. Thank you, everybody, again. Starting at the bottom and working our way up. Thank you, Bebe. Thank you, Sister Judy Cakes. Thank you, Toxic Brother. Thank you, EP. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, number 2. Thank you, my sister and Top Badge, Beautiful J. And thank you to my number 1, Big Top Badge, Strawberry Red. I appreciate everybody so much again for contributing to the stream, making sure I make my weekly goals. We are going to have some different things going on moving forward. I'm going to try to find a way to always make sure the topics are something we can discuss. Also, if you are still interested in getting on the wheel, please remember I do have a support challenge wheel. It is 8K for 80,000 diamonds or more. If you are looking to get on that wheel, there are still 11 spots left on the wheel. So make sure you tap in with me and get you a spot on the wheel. Again, it's 8K for each spot. One if it lands on your name, you can win 80,000 diamonds or more. My last winner actually received a golden dragon, so that was 300,000 diamonds for 8,000 diamonds. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all tap in on that. I'm gonna be hosting Top Badge Strawberry Red's mentorship program today, so I actually have to get off so I can handle that. If you are someone looking to learn how to navigate the app, make sure you tap in with us to join the mentorship program. I also want to thank everybody so much again who has contributed their opinion in my date box or in my comment section. We appreciate y'all for being a part of what we have going on every Sunday. And as I said it before, if you didn't already know, I'm your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Princess Tia, and this is Pretty Problem Podcast. Let me show you I'm a real bitch. I got you stressing, but you know I'm not.